Hi, Kirk McDowell here. Let me talk to you about the three massive mistakes business consultants make that keep them from making irresistible sales offers. Firstly, let me ask you a couple of questions. Are you a business consultant who would like to make at least $10,000 a month and make an extraordinary impact with your clients? Are you a conscious person who's tired of living in a world of greed and consumerism and you'd like to be part of the solution and create a life of extraordinary fun, freedom, and fulfillment in the process? If that's you, then awesome. Give me your time and attention for the next few minutes and let me talk to you about the three massive mistakes that you're making that are keeping you from making these extraordinarily awesome and inspiring and irresistible sales offers. But first, let me tell you a quick story of my journey. So in my 20s, I wanted to be a capitalist and make a lot of money. I started a copier dealership. By the way, not the easiest thing in the world to do. So we did that for several years, and it was, we did a lot of great things, a lot of things that I'm proud of. But I wasn't living my blueprint. I wasn't living my dream, so to speak, right? I picked copiers just because I thought it would be a vehicle to get me to where I wanted to go, which was, in this case, success, right? Making money. I was working myself sick, and I actually had to sell the business because I was working myself sick. I had sold the business under doctor's orders, and I discovered something, which is success without fulfillment is actually failure, right? So I went off in search of fulfillment. A few years later, I found myself in a big transformational weekend, like a course, and it was amazing for me. And among many other things, I discovered two things that were very impactful in my life. First of all, I no longer wish to be a manipulative person, right? And then secondly, I really did want to be a big contribution in the world. And both of those realizations caught me by surprise, right? And so that was really the beginning of a new adventure, and that's the adventure that we're here to talk about, you and I. So the fact is, if you're someone who has discovered your passion to contribute and you're not making $10,000 a month and you're not making irresistible sales offers, you are making these mistakes. Okay, so what I want to go over these mistakes, and I'm going to give you a solution for each one. Okay, so first thing is that it is time. You have been struggling and trying to figure it out for long enough. It's time for promotion. It's time to take the next step. It's time to take yourself seriously. It's time to take a stand for yourself and your future and your friends and your family and the world. Okay, so this is it. So mistake number one for me was I had subconsciously decided that that giving was good and receiving was bad. Okay, you might hear yourself in this, right? I had created that it was better to give than receive. But looking back on it, how completely ignorant I was, because giving and receiving are exactly the same thing, right? You cannot have one without the other. And I was literally hindering and capping my ability to give by sabotaging my ability to receive, by deciding wasn't good to receive and it was good to give, right? And so it just doesn't work. You cannot, people like you and me need to get, people who are conscious and want to make a difference in the world need to get ourselves funded and need to be successful in order to make the difference we want to make in the world, right? So mistake number one is deciding that it's better to give than receive. Okay, so here's what I want you to do right now with me. I want you to repeat this phrase after me. The world gets blessed when I receive. Go ahead and say that. Okay, very good. Now say it with me three times. The world gets blessed when I receive. The world gets blessed when I receive. The world gets blessed when I receive. Okay, very good. Now just feel into that. Feel into the truth of it, right? You can't be a good giver unless you're a good receiver. It's just how that works. And so wait to see how great a giver you are when you step up your receiving to the next level. Do you think I became a better giver after becoming a great receiver? You better believe it. Okay. All right, good. So keep saying that phrase to yourself. The world gets blessed when I receive, and just watch the miracle start to come into your life. It is totally a state change. I promise. Stay with that. Okay, good. So the next mistake that you're probably making, right, is you're either being manipulative manipulative in your sales conversations. Sometimes people do it without realizing it, but obviously sometimes people realize it, right? It's often in the heat of the moment when a really big deal is on the line, or you've got rent due tomorrow, whatever it is, right? But you're either being manipulative in your sales conversations, or you're being weird, trying really hard not to be that pushy salesperson. Either way, it doesn't work, okay? So here's the secret. It's really important. If you want to have even the slightest chance of making irresistible sales offers, here's what you need to start doing right away. All right, here it is. Ready? You need to be the person people want to do business with. You have to be the person people want to do business with. And here's the kicker. You know exactly how to do that. Just look in your own mind of sales experiences that were awesome for you. Great salespeople, a great situation. You got what you wanted. And just notice what the commonalities were. They listened. They cared. They were the real deal. They were effective. They actually had value to provide, right? So notice none of those are mind-blowing things you have to study for 6 months. Caring, listening, being a decent human being, that sort of thing. So here's what there is to do. Start being the person people want to do business with, right? So if you're stuck on that, click the button below and let's talk, right? It's actually super simple, and it's actually really simple and easy when everything's going well. If you're feeling good, they're feeling good, there's no outside pressure or stress, easy to be great, easy to be wonderful, easy to be the person they want to do business with, unless you get attached or weird or something, right? But it's when the heat is on and the arrows are coming and the cavalry's nowhere on the horizon, can you authentically be the person people want to do business with in that moment, right? So no matter what's going on, a contribution salesperson is always 100% responsible for being authentic, right? And being valuable, like being a contribution, like being honest and being a contribution, right? Cool. All right. So that's mistake number 2. We could stop right there with mistake number 1 and 2. If you had a breakthrough in receiving and you had a breakthrough in literally being the person people want to do business with, oh my gosh, it's all right there, right? You could stop here and actually go have multiple state change breakthroughs in your business. All right. But we've got one more massive mistake to go. And here it is. Are you ready? The third massive mistake that business consultants make that keep them from making irresistible sales offers is they don't have the right mentor, right? It's really important. It's really critical to have a mentor who actually understands you and where you're at. The reason I was able to go from in the hole to skyrocketing in a very short period of time is I found a mentor who really understands me, understands what I'm committed to, and had what I needed, right? It was awesome. And I started having results like in weeks. It was really fantastic. So having the right mentor is a really big deal. It's very important. Okay, great. So it just so happens I have cleared my calendar and I've created this thing called the Contribution Selling Challenge Call. It's a 30-minute conversation, right? So if you don't have the mentor who understands your journey and is dialing you in, right, then give me a call and let's talk. So it's completely free, 30-minute session where we're going to do 3 things, right? So this is not just fluffy, hey, aren't I wonderful, right? We're going to get to work and do 3 things. We're going to bring clarity to your coaching business and your sales process, right? We're going to bring clarity. We're going to uncover any hidden blocks that might be impeding your success, right? And we're going to leave you inspired, like re-energized, inspired, renewed, like ready to go at them. And you'll be dialed into your next steps and ready to go, excited, clear, focused, energized, with clarity and inspiration, right? So that's what we're going to do in 30 minutes. It's just going to be you and me on the phone. It's going to be awesome. And, it'd be an amazing experience for both of us. I want to hear about the business consulting, about your consulting business, right? I want to hear about it, and I want to hear about the perfect lifestyle that the business coaching is here to provide for you, right? And if you haven't started the consulting business yet, then I can help you with that also. So I want to hear about the consulting business that you have, or the one that you're about to start if you haven't started one yet. And we're going to look at the perfect life that you want to dial in to have this coaching business support it. By the way, which is actually critical, right? If you want to, part of being successful in selling is, first of all, the first part, being the real deal, being authentic, being the person people want to be. But if you're literally glowing from the inside out because your life is so fantastic, because you're living from purpose and you're living for inspiration and you're authentic and you're a huge contribution to the world and you're literally the person that your clients are looking for, it is a state change from the inside out that customers notice. One thing I've noticed over many years is people can tell when you're there for them. People can literally tell when you're there for them, trying to provide them service, or people can tell when you're there for them, trying to get a paycheck, right? And it's really clear and it's really obvious. And this is how to do it, right? Um, um, be authentic, be inspired, be the person that people want to do business with. All right. It's awesome. So now for a few people who qualify on this phone call, I'm going to invite you to work with me for 3 months and literally master the art of contribution selling. Either way, we'll have an amazing time. I promise to provide extraordinary value in our time together. So click the button below. There's a short application. Get that filled out. Let's talk to you. I want to talk to you as soon as possible. I'm excited to hear about your life and your business. Until then, be the change you wish to see and give what you want to get. Thanks so much.